Wednesday. Nope. Tuesday, January 13th. This is Gabe Eltaeb. This is Double Impact. I am here. We're going to have a great time. I live in San Diego. I can't complain about anything. He is here. He also lives in beautiful California, but he lives in NorCal, which is the inferior part. Jericho, if NorCal is better than SoCal, say so now. What's that? Oh, you didn't say anything. Okay, see, I was right. Anyway, here he is, Jericho Green.
Yeah, right. Home of the superior Mexican food, that's for sure.
Okay. Anyway, I won't embarrass you by having that debate any further.
It's not possible.
Go on. It's not possible to embarrass you any further. How are things? How you doing?
Great. My son just pissed me off real bad right before I went on. So here we are.
Did he do something that you yourself did when you were his age? No. Can we know what he did, or we're going to keep this one in house?
No, we'll keep it in house, but no, I wouldn't have done that.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I did some humdingers growing up. I did some real. You ever do something good and you can't believe it, but you also do something bad and you can't believe it? Sit there thinking about it later, like, wow, I can't believe I really did that. It's kind of amazing.
Yep. Too late now.
Well,
it is done.
Yeah, gone. Going. I don't want to start the show on a downer, but I will say, just to acknowledge, one of my absolute heroes. Never had the pleasure of meeting him. One of my favorite people on earth, the great Scott Adams, did pass away this morning at age 68. He had metastatic prostate cancer. Poor guy. He was very sick. He announced it back in May. He fought the good fight, and he did say he accepted Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior at the end. So that's good. It's good. Hopefully that'll be a witness to other people. But one of the great ones, one of the great Americans of the modern age, he did more good for more people than really almost any other public figure that I could think of. Teaching people how to think, how to be positive, how to succeed, how to optimize their life. Really admire the guy. If you want to know about what he did, there's a great book. I mean, he has many New York Times best-selling books. And these aren't his comic strips. These are just like books on philosophy. There's a book called How to Lose at Everything and Still Win Big. I think that's it. And I think that's the name of it. It came out about 5-6 years ago. I have it. But wow, it's good. It's good. He's a great author. And R.I.P. to the great Scott Adams. Yeah. Were you a fan at all? Did you know of him or?
No. Which comics did he do?
Dilbert.
Oh, yeah, I know Dilbert. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Dilbert is nothing compared to who he was. That was a fraction of his life. He was a Silicon Valley guy. He was right there by you in Pleasant Valley. A couple hours from you, but he was a philosopher. He wrote a lot about life and optimizing strategy. He was a member of Mensa. That's the group of the people with the highest IQs in the world. He was a brilliant guy. And he just talked about that concept I always talk about, systems, not goals. Where if you want to achieve everything, don't worry about the goal. Worry about the day-to-day, hour-to-hour system. I'm a person that does this, whatever it is, every day. And given a long enough time, I'll have my goal. And he really breaks that down for people, how to think, how to frame things in their mind correctly. So, yeah. So, yeah, RIP to the great Scott Adams. I started my morning with him for about the last 10 years. He had a podcast here on YouTube. It had, zillions of subscribers and many people watching live every morning, 7 a.m. Pacific time from 7 to 8. And it was called Coffee with Scott Adams. And he would just do an hour, his take on whatever the day's news was. And he always had amazing takes and amazing insight. And he was just a really, really a different mind, a very thoughtful person. So, yeah. So Coffee with Scott Adams, I guess, is over. But he was a brilliant one, the great Scott Adams. Cartoonist like myself, that's how I started doing the cartoons at my school newspaper when I was 22. That was my first professional cartooning work. And yeah, I love those 3-beat cartoons like Garfield, Dilbert, all that stuff. The Family Circus, very, very beautifully illustrated. Not funny at all. Not funny. The Family
Circus. Which one was that?
Family Circus was with Jeffy and Billy, and the dad was a cartoonist, and it had the mom, and the kids were always like cutesy stuff, but it never had any zing or zazz or.
They had like the round heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. No, they were never any of my favorites either. I remember always reading the funny papers on the weekend because they were in color.
Right. I read them every day. I read the papers every day because I just absolutely love that. Hold on, share screen. Yeah, that's that thing we've talked about in the past about the movie advertisements and the newspaper cartoons. We just brought it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was
Yeah, I
the
remember that one.
just here, So very much a boomer parent, boomer children, and the silent generation, greatest generation parents. It was very much of that.
What's my favorite one? Comic would be, like a strip would probably be Dennis the Menace, and then what was it? The Far Side, right? That
Farsight's
calendar.
fantastic.
Oh, loved those. My mom would give me the calendar like every year for Christmas. But yeah, I loved Far Side. That was
You're
funny shit.
forgetting the greatest comic strip of all time. I would say the greatest comic strip of all time. Maybe we could put this in a poll someday. Calvin and Hobbes. I mean, oh my God. The guy could draw his face off and he was witty, very funny. And this is what it was like to be a little boy. This is like A Christmas Story, the movie.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of an edge on it. But as far as people who drew newspaper comics, I think he's the greatest of all time. Now you have your other guys, like the guy that did Prince Valiant and all that. That's a totally different art style. That's like beautiful realism, like life drawing. But this guy was probably the best cartoonist. And I have every single one of these. They put out like a thick hardcover with the slipcase, like a 5 inches slipcase edition that has every single one collected. And he just retired like in 98 or whatever and disappeared into the wind. The guy that did this strip. So
yeah, like the late 90s, early 2000s, you started seeing Hobbes or Calvin pissing on stuff.
Oh my gosh!
Like he'd have a Raider hat on, and he's like pissing on the fucking Chiefs. So it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, there was the I'll look it up. Now, people would have like trashy people would have this on their would have this on the back of their car. They would have something like
yeah.
Right? And it would say like society, dude.
Yeah, or the team you don't like, or whatever you didn't like, you just put it under the stream of piss.
I would always see ones in Colorado that said Raiders on it.
Oh yeah. Oh man, what a time.
If you have the pissing Calvin, then I know you like Rage Against the Machine. Those fucking communist pieces of shit.
Pissing Calvin. But yeah, Calvin and Hobbes, classic, iconic, funny papers. I like Garfield too. Love Garfield.
Garfield was my first love. Age 8, checked out a Garfield digest from the library, was hooked ever since. Love Garfield.
Yeah, dude. I love Garfield. Is just his dry humor, and Odie just his endless, happiness and stupidity.
Right.
Normal. Normal. Oh, Normal. Our Normal always got mailed to Abu Dhabi.
Right. Right. And then there was Arlene. Arlene was like the bimbo cute cat.
Yeah.
There was, of course, John Arbuckle, the idiot owner, and the dentist or the veterinarian woman he could never get to go on a date, Liz.
Yeah. Dude, John was cool. John was just good for turning out lasagna. That's all he was good for. Making Garfield's lasagna. But yeah, and then they had a cartoon in the 80s. I love that too. It was maybe late 80s, early 90s, something like that.
Let's see. Michael Coulter's commenting on me shitting on Rage Against the Machine. And this is nothing new for me. I'm not shitting on them because they revealed their communist shit now and they made people get a vax to come to their concert. Oh, you're really against the machine. What rebels, dude? I've always hated them because I could smell them from a mile away when I was in high school and that came out. No. The thing about the communist rebel musicians, you know what they're really raging against? They're raging against society, telling them that it's not okay to be a selfish asshole. That's really what leftists are raging against. They're not raging against any machine. They'll go with the machine if it benefits them, or they'll go against it if they don't like what it told them. Their whole thing, those leftists, is they are their own God. Nobody tells them what to do. So they don't rage against shit. They have no principles. I hate them. I always have. That Morello, the guitarist who went to Harvard, he's a genius, right? I'm sure. He's always in a filthy commie, that guy. Just a disgusting commie.
Yeah, it's funny. They're the machine now.
And here's the thing, Michael Coulter.
Left.
Right. And you're saying back in the day, they told us to rebel against both sides of the establishment, but now they're kissing government ass. No, I got to disagree with you. Yes, they told you that, but it doesn't matter what people say. It matters what they do. And crisis reveals character. Everyone can be nice when nothing is wrong, but when the shit goes down, the masks come off. And then Again, crisis reveals character. You know who someone really is when it's a crisis situation. And we saw during the lockdown who many people are, didn't we? Fuck your freedom. Yeah, we saw that, didn't
screw
we?
your freedoms.
Right. Beetle
Yeah,
Bailey.
man, that was ugly.
Love Beetle Bailey.
That was.
You know what I love?
Yeah.
Andy Kemp. He was a British guy, and he would go out drinking to the bars and flirting with women that were not his wife. Then he would come home, and his fat, ugly wife in her house dress and the curlers would bash him on the head, and that was the strip like every week.
Yeah, the old ball and chain.
Yeah,
know?
to an 8-year-old,
axe.
it was funny to me as a kid because it was absurd.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it.
Like I could do what I want, just take a knock over the head when I get home. No
Right.
problem. And it'll be like a cartoon. There'll be little birds flying around my head when it happens. It'll be fun.
Not like fucking CTE.
Yeah, not a concussion. It'll just be funny. And I'll shrug my shoulders, and she'll look at me like, honey. And I'm like, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Just flirting with the whores at the bar again. No big deal.
Well, if you wasn't such a fat fucking pig, maybe I would never go to the bar.
Wallace and Gromit. That's a cartoon, though. That's a claymation. That's not a strip, is it? Is there a strip of that? I never saw it. Huh. I like Hagar the Horrible. Hagar the Horrible is how I said it.
Oh, yeah, the Viking dude.
Yeah. And BC, those cavemen. I thought that was witty as a kid and well drawn. There was one with this little weird king that was related. It was the same guy that did BC, did this one with a little king, and I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, I remember always my dad read the paper every day, but I mainly paid attention on Wednesdays and Sundays. Wednesdays is when the Big Five sporting goods sale paper would drop, and in the Christmas time it was in color. And then every Sunday the comic strip was in color, and it came with a Parade magazine inside. And that's my mom would get the paper. She'd take the Parade magazine out because that was hers. And then my dad and I would, read the whatever, comic strip, whatever the hell he was reading in there. But that used to be how we got our information, aside from the news. But I think the newspaper was far more informative, and it had, stocks and movies. That's another thing. You want to get the movies, see what movies are coming out, what time the movies are playing. That was all in there. And then that's where you would see the movie posters, the pictures for the movies, right? Nakatomi Tower and all that. It was in the newspaper. The newspaper held so much. The newspaper was your cell phone. It had all the info on it. The latest information was going to be in the newspaper.
Remember calling that phone number to get the time? At the time,
976
7
1 2 3 4
3. Yeah.
Pacific Standard Time.
It was a better world when we didn't have everything at our fingertips in many ways. Human beings are not ready to have like a genie that you could just wish for, which is the internet and the cell phone, and now AI. Mm-hmm. AI is like pouring nitro on top of the internet. The internet was already giving us too much of what we wanted constantly. And now with AI, you can custom tailor it. Just imagine in 5 years, you turn on Netflix and you don't pick a movie. You make one up. Every time there's new content, you'll never stop watching. You'll never stop watching. And the AI will get to know you, and it'll just make stuff for you. This is terrible. This is like
you're so perfect by AI.
Liquid sugar from a fire hose 24 hours a day. You can't do that.
Yeah. And it's just in your mouth, and your mouth is sealed around it. They just open the floodgates, and it's just pumping right into.
This is like Augustus Gloom for drinking the chocolate river.
Yeah, except you don't fall in and get sucked into the tube. You just stay there, drinking all that fucking pure, unblemished virgin chocolate. And yeah, it's gonna learn. But let's say you want to come up with one anyway, or maybe it's your birthday. You want to do something weird in a movie. You just tell it, and it'll make the perfect movie. And the characters will look exactly how you picture it in your mind. They'll sound exactly how you want it. There will be no more your imagination filling in the gaps.
It's terrible.
Your AI will fill in the gaps. It'll tell your mind what's perfect now. It'll tell your mind what to fill in all the blanks with. And we're just gonna go.
That movie WALL-E didn't even scratch the surface. You wish it was just WALL-E. It's going to be so much worse if you're not careful. Ugh.
Well, if AI can predict what you want, then it can tell you what you want.
Well, it'll eventually persuade you that you want this. Even if you don't, then you will. It'll just kind of pick away at you and get you to want it. How do you think
AI
programming and persuasion works?
But AI, I don't buy butt plugs. What is this? You do now. I don't want to use it, AI. AI, I don't want to unbutton my thing.
That's what I would say if I was being shy and kind of wanted to, you know.
And it'll literally talk you into it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Next thing you know, you're protesting ice in the streets.
Dude, blue hair.
Nose ring.
Your sink, your bathroom sink is dyed blue from all the hair dye you've been using.
Can you imagine me as like a liberal? Just me, like with the rainbow hair and the nose ring, and I'm talking about over sexualization of women, and just like, could you imagine that? I can't even fathom that shit.
What a bitch.
Or you. I could even see you that way.
I would never.
Oh.
I couldn't say those words. I couldn't speak those words.
I think the kind of leftist that I would be the worst, the nightmare for me would be that feminist social justice war. I think for you would be the super race hustler, like black scholar who's blaming everything on the white devil and all that.
You can do, it's never your fault.
You slip right into that one, you know.
There's always some entity that you can blame for your shortcomings.
Right.
You can pin it on. It's never you. Who was it? Joy Reid. I saw her today. She was saying that the white people are using their white privilege now to get out there and protest because black people can't because we'll get killed. But white people can because of their white privilege. And they're doing all these ICE raids and stuff. They're doing it to protect, their precious white woman, from all the brown, over sexualized brown men that are going to take their virtue. Oof. So really, that's what all this is for, to get all the brown people out to protect white women.
Yep, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Stupid.
I wonder what it's like living in this world of just, you've piled up so many lies so high. It's like the world's worst game of Jenga. You've piled this pile of shit lies so high. You have to then keep lying to yourself every moment of the day to justify the last thing you said. Don't you think they get really confused about what it is they believe? Today, they're arguing in the Supreme Court about boys and girls sports, and the attorney representing that side that wants to mix it, the Supreme Court Justice Alito asked him for, well, what is the definition of a man and a woman so we can see if we're discriminating? And the lawyer for the left said, we don't have a definition of that for the court. Can you imagine? You grow up, you go to school, you probably go to private school, you go to a law school, you get a degree. It's a doctorate. Your law degree is a JD. It's a doctorate in jurisprudence. That's what it is. And then you're sitting up there saying you don't know what a man or a woman is. I don't know. Just living on that many lies, that seems completely insane to me.
But do they even really believe it?
Of course not. No, it's communism. Communism is here to destroy beautiful things. That's what it's for.
But it's so stupid. To protect the virtue of white women, that's why they're kicking illegals out.
Right.
Even if that's why, do it. I don't want them here. I don't care why you're doing it. Get them out of here.
Protect the virtue of white women. I'm gonna say something. Do you think that most of us think a lot of these women have any virtue left? I hate to say that, but I'm an analytical man. I'm pretty honest in my thinking. I don't think so. I don't think there's a lot to save there. Sorry.
No, they're out there getting their OnlyFans on.
Yeah.
But even if there was this cabal of evil, racist white men and they said, all those in favor of deporting illegals to save the virtue of white women, say aye. Great. I don't care why. Get them out of here. I don't give a shit. I don't want to read your manifesto. Get them out of here. I don't give a shit if you're the most vile, racist, fucking hate-spewing redneck in the world. As long as you're getting illegals out of here, I do not give a shit. And I don't care what you think about them, and I don't care what you think about me. Just get them out of here.
It's very weird that people would argue about this. It's illegal to come here, without permission, and then that's kind of the end of the argument, and you got to go. I don't understand what's so hard. And then they're jumping through all these hoops and making up this, and they got a due process, which conveniently will take decades, the due process, right? Conveniently. So, I don't know. It's very weird. These people don't live in any sort of reality. Guys, we have the poll of polls, the poll I always introduce and rarely ever come back to. And tonight's poll, Let's share the screen here. It is NFL Gabe versus Jericho, Denver Broncos, 49ers, Buffalo Bills, Seahawks. Who you got this weekend? Who you got? Looks like my team.
I don't think I need to answer that question.
My team's in the league. Denver Broncos going to win the Super Bowl. You can say whatever you want.
No, they're not.
The Buffalo Bills are on a short week, and their injury list is very long.
Hey,
and they don't have anything. The Buffalo, they got the best quarterback in the league, Josh Allen, and nothing else.
You could take everything you just said about the Bills and put it on the 49ers this past Sunday.
What do you mean?
Short week, depleted team, great quarterback.
Eagles suck, dude. Denver beat them in Philly, 10 a.m.
But I'm saying they're a loaded team. What they do with those weapons is not the 49ers' concern. They're a loaded team. They're Super Bowl champions. They have all pros all over their secondary. They have Pro Bowlers on their both lines, offense, defense. Saquon Barkley
had a bad year.
If you got
Saquon last year, he had a great year last year, and he didn't do shit this year.
But that's not the 49ers' problem. If you got a garage full of Ferraris, but you decide to pull out your fucking Yugo, that's your fault.
It is.
The 49ers went into Philly, a very hostile environment, legendary, infamous for being a tough place, a violent place to play it sometimes for other teams. So you go to Philly, it's cold, short week. Name a 49er defensive player. You can't. Right. If you can, it's only because they've been saying their name for the past 3 weeks.
Kendricks had a great game.
Yeah, but they got him up literally got him and Wallow, the other linebacker, off the street. They signed with the team on November 26th.
Right.
So all that stacked against you, we went into Philly and we fucking beat their ass.
And I thought you would, and I wanted it to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to be 49ers, Broncos, and Super. I'm telling you, that's what it's going to be.
But I think the reason the Bills will lose is because Josh Allen, he can't do it alone. He just can't.
No, he's Broncos are the number 3 rush defense, number 1 by a country mile pass rush. And then you've got Patrick Surtain and Riley Moss, the erasers at corner. You got Hufanga, all pro safety. I mean, they're stacked on D. And their offense has been inconsistent, but when it's played right, it's looked fantastic. You know.
But it'll fall on the Buffalo defense. If they can stifle,
they can't. They can't.
But if they can, that's going to be their only hope to keep the score.
And it's at Mile High. It's at Mile High. They've lost 1 game there in the last year and a half, Denver. They do have the best home advantage in the history of the NFL, the Broncos. They do. They always win at home. And that crowd is insane. It's like the loudest crowd. They're so loud. And the camera's always shaking on 3rd and 4th down. The crowd's screaming, you know. So.
But then you have the rest versus rust, issue.
No, not with Sean Payton. Sean Payton is like 14-1 with buys. I got all the stats. Me and my son are going crazy on it.
Okay.
So Sean Payton, he's Mr. Bye Week. Brian Knapp says, my Seahawks finally have their secondary back, and the 49ers have a patchwork defense and no George Kittle. That is terrible what happened to George Kittle.
That is true.
Non-contact torn Achilles. Ugh.
But he was contacted. He was being tackled.
But I mean, it wasn't like he got bent funny. It was just normal,
he stepped to plant his foot, and it was like yoing, the rubber band snapped. That can be said about the 49ers all season, a patchwork defense and no George Kittle. George Kittle didn't play like 7 or 8 weeks this season. Like half the season we didn't have him. So this ain't the first time having a game with no George Kittle.
You know what's hilarious to me about the 49ers? They remind me of the Denver Broncos from the 90s because the coach is the son of the Broncos coach, right? Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan. What I love about the Niners is Juszczyk and McCaffrey. That's Griffith and Terrell Davis. It's the same thing. The badass fullback and the badass running back. I love it. I love it. I really do want them to go all the way and then lose to Denver in the Super Bowl.
No.
But I am rooting for them.
Shanahan is going to beat his dad's old team.
His dad's going to give him a look.
He's going to stomp him out.
He's like, you wouldn't do that to your old man, would you?
He's like, I would. And he thrusts his katana into his torso. I love you, a father.
And then Mike Cannon tells him, I'm just glad it was you.
Exactly. And it wasn't someone else, son.
Yeah. So, Yeah,
And
it's gonna
but
be awesome.
you guys, okay, let's say you get past the Bills and you still haven't played any given Sunday, but let's say you get past the Bills, you're probably going to have to face the Texans.
Houston, yeah,
and that
which
defense
Denver
is
already beat. Already beat them. The vaunted defense could not stop the Broncos from scoring more points. So there you go.
Okay.
Like, oh, everyone's like Danielle Hunter, this and that. Denver has a better pass rush. What do you want me to tell you? Everyone like is glazing Houston's like sackmaster defensive ends that have lower statistics than Denver's. They're defensive tackles that don't have as good statistics as Denver's. Stingley, who isn't as good as Patrick Surtain. I don't understand it. Denver gets no respect. None.
No respect at all. Hey, that's how it is on the West Coast. You guys are on the coast, but
how we do it
out west.
They're a Western team. Yeah, they are.
You know how it is out west. We don't get love out here.
It's all right.
That East Coast bias.
People's asses. We'll just have to beat people's asses, then they'll.
That's fine. We'll see you. We'll see you in Santa Clara.
Yeah, that's fine.
We will see you in Santa Clara.
Denver will be the home team in your stadium.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We will tear up the visitors' locker room with fucking champagne.
Please, Jericho, please tell your people to destroy the stupid Seahawks. Because just in the Trump era, I hate Seattle and Portland just because of what those cities represent.
Oh, dude, did you see the chief of police for Portland?
No. Is that the guy that started crying when he was talking to his Latino community or whatever?
Yeah, because these two gang members that got killed found out that they were Tren de Aragua.
What? I thought that wasn't real. I thought that was made up.
So real. So when he goes, I want to talk to the Latin community first. I am so sorry. And he starts crying, dude. Takes his glasses off, gets a handkerchief, and dabs his fucking eyes because he's crying over two illegal gangbanger pieces of shit who got killed.
We're trying to kill Border Patrol agents, allegedly, right?
They're trying to kill Border Patrol. Border Patrol dumped on them and killed them. And come to find out, they are members of a recently, what's the word I'm looking for? Not categorized, but designated.
Right.
They're recently designated as a terrorist organization.
What?
So you're up there shedding tears, literally shedding tears over two dead terrorists. Crying.
Hold on, I got a message from Matthew Martin. Hold on.
You fucking bitch.
Yeah, I saw that and it was just disgusting, dude.
Dude, no fucking the sheriff of Philadelphia, get that bitch. First of all, send her back to school.
I like her. I like the DEI, the sheriff of Nottingham is who
she sounds. It's not that she's, spewing these communist, leftist, progressive bullshit talking points and echoing this ridiculous narrative about ICE. She sounds dumb. She sounds like she didn't finish school. She's saying, I don't know about that. We ain't doing all that. She's uneducated. She sounds stupid. She sounds dumb and ignorant, like she didn't finish school. That's not good. The top cop is supposed to instill fear in criminals and hope and optimism and courage into the people and their subordinates. Not put your head in your hand every time she talks because she sounds like a ghetto ass hood rat.
She did sound tougher than the Seattle police chief or the Portland or whatever.
She didn't cry.
Yeah, she didn't cry.
She was not crying. She was not crying.
Well, to be fair, that guy, he was on his period right now, so it's a little emotional.
But guys,
a little upsy down.
Guys aren't supposed to have periods.
Let's read this here. Here you, Gabe. I still love my Seahawks, but can't stand the city of Seattle. Moved to Oklahoma in 2007 and haven't been back to Washington State. I've been to Seattle exactly once in September of 2000 when I worked for Home Depot in college. It used to be a good company. It was still privately owned by that guy that owns the Atlanta Falcons and the other guy, Bernie Marcus, Arthur Blank. They were great owners. They paid a lot, like In-N-Out Burger or Chick-fil-A or Buc-ee's, these companies that are owned by like good American people that pay a lot. When I started there in 2000, quickly they were sold to General Electric and then it all went downhill. But what the hell? They flew everyone in the hardware department from every Home Depot in the country. If you were in the western half of the United States, they would fly to Seattle And if you were in the eastern half, I don't know if it was Atlanta or some of the city, but they would use an actual giant convention center, like 100,000 feet. They would have the vendors for the power tools, DeWalt, Milwaukee, Makita, you know, all that stuff, Ryobi. And you would test all the tools, talk to the reps from the company, and learn how to use all the table saws and all the stuff. And do you know why they would do that every September? Because holiday season, they did not want their salespeople being asked a question, how does this saw work, blah, blah, and then you pick up the box and read it. They wanted you to know how to use the tools and like talk about them. And that is why this fingernail right here is slightly crooked in the middle. Can you see that little divot? It's out of focus, but it doesn't go straight across. I have a little gift I got from Home Depot in Seattle. We went out all night, hey, me and the other guys having fun, a couple pops, some dinner. And then the next morning we're messing with the tools. And I had a giant miter saw. That's the big, it has the flat panel on the table and the giant like 10, 12-inch blade. And then you can angle it for miter cuts, right? For cutting molding or whatever, cutting lumber. And, you know, I'm pulling it down. And a little piece of wood got stuck, thrown back, thrown in the blade, and then shot back out at me and jammed my finger, like when you're playing basketball. Boom! It hurt so bad. I look at my finger, it just turns white, then it turns purple. And I had to go to the hospital because it was so fucked up. And they took this little device where they push a button and there's this like little needle on the front and the needle turns bright orange, yet white hot. And the doctor just stuck the needle in my nail, burned a hole, and blood just came out and then wrapped me up, you know. But I lost a little bit of the front of my fingernail on that one. And eventually the whole fingernail fell off and then it grew back. But I flew home from Seattle that day to Greeley, Colorado, Denver. And at altitude, what I didn't know is if you're in pain, it's worse. And I don't know the science behind that, but that's what they told me. And it was throbbing in my finger, the pain of getting smashed, all the way up my arm, dude, like a heartbeat for like the 2-hour flight home. It was awful. So,
thanks, Seattle.
You know, at least I just got hit with a little piece of wood and I didn't get my finger cut off or something.
That would have helped with the career.
So that was my one time in Seattle. We ate at a waterfront giant bar restaurant called The Ram one night. And I remember it had really good food, but I remember there was a picture of Bob Denver that played Gilligan. There was a picture of Bob Denver in the bathroom, like over the urinal or something like that. And it was right about the time Bob Denver got arrested at the airport with weed. So
yeah.
Gilligan liked the hippie lettuce.
He was getting all stoned going and watching people's dicks in the bathroom.
No wonder that ship got lost. He was stoned out of his tree, him and the captain.
He was lit up from the tit up, dude. He was in charge of the map. He had them all over the place.
Oh,
3-hour tour.
Captain, I think I've been holding this thing upside down the whole time.
Gilligan, you fucking idiot.
Now, hold on. We mentioned Gilligan. You know what the question is. Marianne or Ginger?
Or Yinyer?
The Yinyer or the sleep?
I mean, as a young man watching that show, definitely Marianne.
Okay. Well, I'm a Ginger guy, obviously, but I'm gonna pull a reverse on you here and say I'm going for Mrs. Thurston Howell. Lovey. I love her, and I'll tell you why. She may not be anything to look at, but I know she probably can. Can she cook? She's wealthy. She might not cook, but I'm young in this scenario. I'm in my 20s. I meet Mrs. Howell. Mr. Howell is not long for this world, but probably is neither is Mrs. Howell. Then I do my 5 years with Lovey, and then I'm a multi-zillionaire. There you go. And then
how?
I swoop in on Ginger after I'm rich.
But how are you going to get the money?
We're getting off the island. The professor's going to make that coconut radio thing.
And yeah, but how are you going to get with her so you get his money after he dies?
Well, I'm going to get.
He's going to die, and then you're going to.
He's going to die. Mr. Thurston Howell, he's not getting off the island. Let's just put it that way.
I'll make sure.
He's not getting off the island. He had an accidente, as they say,
and a slip and fall.
Yeah. So
slip and fall into he slipped and fell and fell on that rock in the back of his head 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. You think he couldn't open his teeth? You think that was like a genetic thing? Or Lovey.
You spilled wine all over the duvet.
Thurston Howell.
Dude, you better be somebody, if your name is Thurston Howell,
if you get named Thurston, don't worry. You're going to be rich if you're not already.
Fine.
Can you imagine being named Thurston Howell and you're broke?
Yeah, that would suck. Your name's
you're
Maximilian.
This kind of broke. You got to drive to work, so you take the license plate off of your like auntie's car, put it on your car, so you have valid registration.
You're playing with the law.
That's some ghetto ass behavior that I witnessed firsthand. Not me, but I've seen people do that. We're like, let me take the plate off your car, so I have the registration. Like, oh boy,
dude, you're playing with the law.
Oh boy,
ooh, don't do that, kids.
Yeah, do not do that. I am not a lawyer, but I will tell you, don't do that. That's illegal.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't play with California's money.
Lovey, let me borrow the license plate to your car.
To your vehicle.
Oh my goodness.
Don't do that, guys. Keep it legal.
What was the low point for you, like in career-wise? When I got out of high school, I had been a gardener in high school. My cousin had in Southern California, there's a lot of lawn care business. My cousin had one for a couple years. We'd do 30, 40 yards on the weekend. I started that when I was 12, did that till I was about 15. Then I worked at Pizza Hut until I was a senior, and I didn't work my senior year. But then when I graduated, I was a janitor for like 2 months, got fired. That's the only job I've ever been fired from. I was a janitor at a shopping center, 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Worst job of all time. Worst job. Mopping up sweeping up cigarette butts, emptying trash cans. And a bunch of hobos live behind the grocery stores and all that. And I think I told you this. I got fired because someone threw up all over the front entrance. And it smelled like fish tacos and tequila and rice. And I couldn't get near it. I was 17. I was being irresponsible. I couldn't clean it up. It just grossed me out. And I left it there for a day, so they fired me. So
fucking gross.
Yeah. Never been fired otherwise, though. So what was your low point? Because I think being a janitor was my low point.
Definitely landscaping. That fucking sucked.
Yeah?
That sucked.
When did you do that?
Oh, man. I don't know, like in my early 20s.
Yeah. Full-time gig?
Yeah, it was out in near Morgan Hill.
Don't know.
Oh, it's Gilroy.
Oh, okay.
Extremes, like south of San Jose.
Okay.
But yeah, it started getting hot. When it gets hot out there, you're not by the coast anymore.
No.
You're not cooling off with that nice ocean breeze. So it gets warm. So yeah, the hotter it got, the more I was like, man, this fucking sucks. But what comes along with lawns, dumping the lawnmower and walking up hills and yeah, man, the blower and fucking, it just hard work, man. Hard fucking work.
Yeah. The weed whacker. I like the weed whacker. I like using that thing. Seems very dangerous.
I remember we're doing this house, and I can't remember that. I think it's Anderson Lake, and it's like up on a hill, and it's this man-made lake. And I remember using the weed eater on this hillside, like bracing yourself. It was like almost like a 45-degree angle. Like if you go tumbling, you're gonna get fucked up. So you had to like brace yourself on this hillside and use the weed eater. And I remember looking out over this view of the lake. She was like up the hill from the lake, like a mile up. And you're seeing this beautiful view on the top of this mountain and the fucking lake down there. You see the boats, but the boats were so far that you could barely hear them, but you could see the white, the wake behind the boat going. And I was just like, fuck, man, here I am, using this weed eater at this fucking rich lady's house. So yeah, there was
some guy,
a moment of reflection.
Some European guy with the shirt unbuttoned to his navel with gray hair, male pattern baldness, like a couple gold medallions, and a few Instagram bimbos on his boat. And you're 500 yards away with a weed whacker. You got that. You ever been out all day, Disneyland or mowing grass or whatever, and you get that rash from your underwear, like right on the sides of your nuts? You know what I'm talking about? Right there. And it's just burning with every step you take because they were riding up all day or whatever, Oh, you're there like that. Swamp ass, covered in grass. Maybe you stepped in dog crap while you were working. Oh, goodness. And then there's this just European guy sipping champagne with honeys on his boat. Yeah. I remember feeling that way when I was young. Like, can't wait. Can't wait till I make it, man. I can't wait till I make something of myself. I remember being young and married, was 18 when I got married. I remember being, 18, 19, living in an apartment. We're driving cars that people gave to us. And I remember all I wanted was a newish car and a decent computer. I remember that's all I wanted when I was like 20 years old.
Yeah, our needs are very simple.
Yeah.
Very. But hey, my alarm just went off. I got to go take some meat off the smoker.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. Well, then I'm going to show you guys a trailer for the Unstoppable Tyrus. Smoking meat. What are we going to do about it? Let's see. Let's get into here. Let's see. Let's check this one out. Hey, we got to go back. That didn't pop up on the screen. Looking pretty cool, huh? Very excited about this. Hold on, let me bring myself back up here. Yeah, so that's a little trailer. I put together a bunch of trailers, we got a lot of fun stuff coming for you guys. Just got these in the mail today. These are samples. I always print out samples of books and apparel. For the Unstoppable Tyrus, 128-page awesome adventure. You're going to love this thing because you guys love action. You love adventure. You guys are smart. Look at this thing. I went back to 90s style with the royal blue, and then I went with the magenta for the Tyrus logo. That's a really hot pink. It's not coming through great on the camera because some of my lighting is pretty bright, but these shirts look gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, the Unstoppable Tyrus. I also printed out samples of the book. I'm going to show you guys these. Here are samples of the book. The book is complete. That's the great thing. When you go to bigmancommerce.com, guys, you know you're going to get this thing. When you pre-order on the crowdfund campaign, you know you're going to get it because I'm going to prove to you it exists. It's right here. Look at, there's one cover by me. There's the second cover by me. Yeah, this is awesome. This is Ninja Turtles, Incredible Hulk, Avengers, all that great superhero stuff with a dash of like the Legend of Zelda. What? Like, yeah, ancient temples, ancient prophecies, stuff like that. You're going to absolutely love the Unstoppable Tyrus. So we've got apparel. We've got all kinds of books. I still have one more cover I have to make. I have to ink it. I got the pencils today from a Marvel Comics artist, a pretty good artist. He did a cover for me. I hired him to do it. But let's see. I also want to show you this right here. Here are all the covers I was showing you. I'll show them to you in a digital format so you can see them, and then I'll show you the book real quick. But okay, so here I'll bring up those covers, but let me show you the book. Those were all in packages, but here's the book out of a package right here. So this is it, 128 pages, full color, hilarious, exciting, thrilling. You're gonna just love it. You're gonna absolutely love it. The name of this volume is You Still Believe in Me. And yes, that is the name of a Beach Boys song. But it's very apt for this book. And those of you that have read my stuff before, you know that it's great characterization, amazing dialogue, a little bit of humor sprinkled in. You know, Indiana Jones has like 2 or 3 jokes in it. Not too many jokes like the Marvel movies. We've got a little bit of humor in here. We've got beautiful artwork and just rock 'em, sock 'em, knock their blocks off kind of action. Just thrilling stuff here. And of course, there's a little bit of romance. You're going to love it. You're absolutely going to love it. But this one with like the calligraphy title on it, can't get these. These are the preview copy, not for retail. I printed these up, mailed them out to friends. I'm going to ask Jericho if he got his. I checked on stamps.com and it said he should have his. So let me see. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Hey, I'm trying to push the button to share my screen. Share screen. Entire screen. Okay, so here are those 4 covers. Oh, 5. The 6th cover I can't show you yet because I have not inked it and colored it, but I'm gonna have that done by like Sunday. Wrong one. Remove you. Remove from studio. Okay. Oh, jeez. Had to say. Okay, there we are. There's cover A by moi. Or when Miss Piggy would go moi. There's cover A by yours truly. That was really fun. I drew that one and colored this one. Same with this one here. I illustrated this one and colored it up. You got Tyrus there in the middle. You got these mana beasts is what we call them. Half human, half animal hybrids. Ancient prophecies. A pro wrestler who got dumped by his girlfriend and went to prison. What the hell is going on here? How did he get turned into a blue behemoth? You're going to love this thing. The Unstoppable Tyrus. I love the logo. I just came up with that logo like less than a month ago. I had the old calligraphic logo before that looked like a book plate, but we've got the new logo now. I love the goat. And you're going to love the names of these characters too. They're very, very much the kind of names I would give them for sure. You know, when you see the names, you're going to remember certain things I've said and done. But yeah, these are the 4 main covers. Then I wanted to focus on the beauty of women. So I commissioned this cover from my friend Jackson. He and I worked on Wonder Woman together at DC, and I always knew he drew beautiful women. So we have Tyrus's girlfriend and one of the main villains there, kind of a really fun cover of 2 women. And then there's another cover. You're going to be blown away when you see that one. You're going to absolutely love it. So good evening, ma'am. Let's see. Wow, Gabe. That's awesome. You know what's the best thing about what you do is nobody can cancel because you don't have sponsors. Well, yes and no. I have sponsors. You guys, when you buy a book, you're quite literally direct sponsors. So my business is B2C. It's business to customer. My business is not B2B. It's not a business to business is how I make my money. I don't sell things to businesses per se, although I suppose I would sell packs of these 2 comic book stores and bookstores, but that is not the main avenue I'm doing right now. When Tyrus and I launch this thing next Tuesday, it's a crowdfund on my website. You go to bigmancomics.com. I'll show it to you. Jericho's smoking his meat, so he'll be back sooner or later. Hold on, let me close this. Sorry. So if you go to my website, I'm going to jump on my website here. I'll show you what you do. Maybe I should put an explainer video out there explaining people how to buy the crowdfund on my website, because I do know Tyrus's audience, a lot of them are like baby boomers, and maybe they haven't bought a comic book off the internet before. You know, maybe that's not something they've done. So it might be something I want to do is to bulletproof that by making a little video. Here's how you do it. I think I will do that. If it'll load so I can quit filibustering and filling airtime with just me chit-chatting here. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Bigmancomics.com. Hey, Jericho. Are you back?
I am.
Oh, okay. I wasn't looking at the thing. I was showing them covers and showing them the trailer. I'll show you in a minute here. But I want to show people, if you go to bigmancomics.com, this is the website. And you just click on this, the Unstoppable Tyrus, right there. Takes you right to the page. You get to learn what the book is about. Now, on the 20th, right here on the right-hand side, will be all the ways you could buy it. All the different covers, all the different T-shirts, all that good stuff. You're going to see all that and be able to click and buy easily. My website, I've been using it for 2-3 years. Right at the top, get on the mailing list right now. Stay up to date with what's going on. But yes, we're going to blow your socks off. You're going to love this thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Michael Coulter says, Gabe, business to customer. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's awesome. I wish more businesses were like that. Well, by the very nature of businesses, some businesses cannot be like that. You know, if I built a bunch of restaurant supplies, then I am business to business, right? Because I'm just going to be selling to restaurants. But I get your meaning. But business to customer, it's because I'm making the final product. So yeah, I don't have to deal with other businesses insofar as selling to them. I work with other businesses all the time, buying from them when I print the books, when I do all that stuff. But yes, these are the covers here. You're going to love it. And again, this is the completed book right here. The book is done. 128 pages. I started drawing this last Christmas, like a week before Christmas. But yes, this is the proof positive. I'm a real boy. It's a real comic that already exists, because in the independent like crowdfunding space, and not just comics, all kinds of crowdfunding, people take a bunch of money and they abscond with it, allegedly. People think about the money and then they don't deliver the product, or they deliver the product years and years and years late. So it's not great. Let's see. You guys heard what Joe Rogan was saying about ICE. I'm so done with the guy. Nah, I don't care. I don't care. I don't. Everyone has their opinion, and I know what mine are. And I'm sure he's devastated. Joe Rogan is devastated about ICE. I don't know. I have no idea what she's talking about.
Like, every once in a while, it's like, oh, dude, I forgot you're still a liberal bitch on the inside.
You know, that's one of the things about being on the. What I realize about anti-wokeness is that many of my allies actually are not with me morally as a Christian. They just don't like wokeness. So they're against wokeness. I'm against wokeness. But then I am for Christianity and the family and all these things, and they're not for those things. And that's been a weird one for me, because I'm like, well, if you're not for those things, you are against them, then you're just a different flavor of woke. Like, who cares then? You know, so to me, it's like just different kinds of leftists, to be honest. So, but you know, hey, it's a free country. I have seen some people crying about the ICE saying, oh, it's mean, you're separating families. Yeah, so people break the law, they get separated from their families. If Jericho went out and knocked over a 7-Eleven tonight, he would be separated from his family.
I can't bring him with me.
No, but I mean,
can't bring him with me.
If they arrested you,
you're going to be separated.
Yes, that's what happens.
That's kind of the main thing. And that's the whole point of imprisonment and punishment, is separating you from your family, your life.
Yes, and it does hurt the family. It does hurt the family who's innocent, but you should have thought of that when you broke the law. As a husband and a father, Jericho, you tell me that you're going to tell me I'm right on this. You've been tempted to do something that is not legal, get in a fist fight or whatever, and you thought about it because you have a wife and kids, right?
Yeah.
We all have as men. You know, you're out, something happens, and you're like, I'm going to kick this guy's ass. And then you play it out in your head because you're not a moron. You're like, well, we get in a fight. I beat him up. Cool. I go to jail. I beat him up. I really hurt him. That's really bad. I really go to jail. We get in a fight. He beats me up. Maybe we both go to jail. Bad. I beat him up. He hurts me real bad. Maybe I go to a hospital. Maybe we all go to jail. Where's the good outcome here? None of that is good. What, your ego? Oh, you're a pussy, dude. You walked away, Jericho. You're a pussy. You walked away from a fight. Stupidest thing of all time. But when you have a family, it civilizes you as a man. And you're like, oh, wow, I have something to lose.
Yeah, big time. And you're going to affect your children's lives forever. If you go away for any period of time, that's forever.
Right, because not only do they miss your presence in the immediate, it sends a message to them that they're not as important as your impulses.
Yeah,
it
you
will
made a
send
stupid
that
decision.
Yeah,
you made a stupid decision and didn't consider how it affects them in the least, and you flew off the handle and did whatever you did. Yeah, that's going to be a permanent mark on their mental state and their mind, and you being gone. Like, say you're gone for 6 months, a year. Oh my God, a year?
Right.
That's insane. And
why? Why? Because someone in a Seahawks jersey told you that Brock Purdy sucks. So you knocked him out. You think Brock Purdy knows who the fuck you are, Jericho? Like, he cares if you defend his order?
Purdy's phone's not going to ring. It's not going to buzz on his nightstand. And they're going to be like, hey, this guy who lives 3 hours away from you fucking knock some dude out in your honor. Like, what?
Right.
No,
Purdy. Yo, those Sea Dogs, they were shit talking, and Jericho just stood there like a bitch. He didn't say anything.
Oh,
you think that John Elway cares what I think of him playing football?
Every day.
Oh.
He's like, but what does Gabe think?
Right. Yeah, John always got to, he's like, okay, I'll do it, but first let's check on what Gabe thinks.
But
Heather is complaining about Joe Rogan saying that Renee Good should have been shot in the face. Well, she shouldn't have, but the reason why she did is because she got brainwashed by leftism. And it is a tragedy. Disagree with her. I completely disagree with her tactics. I think they are illegal, allegedly. I think it's ugly, disgusting. I think the ideology is horrific. Her humanity is not lost on me. That's someone's baby, someone's mother, someone's sister. That's a human life with equal value to all other human lives. It's a tragedy. in my not a lawyer opinion, not law enforcement, what is the officer supposed to do? Someone starts running you over. Are they going to run over other agents? What are they doing? I don't know. You have. I would like to see anyone put in that situation and have a millisecond to react.
No, he should have shot her in the leg.
He should have shot both tires in the leg, right?
Yeah, and they did a roll, did a tactical roll. Why didn't he do a tactical roll out of the way, like an action movie?
Yeah,
and in 2020, Tim Walz signed into law that you could be shot by police officers if you accelerate toward them with a vehicle. It's a deadly weapon.
Right.
So why didn't he come out and say, hey guys, chill with the protests and stuff? In 2020, I signed this law. She clearly broke it by the video that you can see of her. The cop is right in front of her car. So, there's no need to riot and all these other things that tear up the city because I signed this into law. She clearly broke it. So everybody go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I just feel, I think it's the father and grandfather in me. I have this thing, Jericho, when I see anyone, left wing, right wing, whatever, American, not American, male, female, gay, straight, like whatever, I see people's humanity so easily. And I always picture them like Big Baby. Everyone was a cute 2 or 3 year old at some point who wanted to giggle and eat goodies and throw the ball around. And now you chase me and all that. Everyone was like that at one point. And whatever happens in the childhood and the religion and the blah, 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 and they go sideways. But I can't help but see people's humanity and pity them. I think dancing on people's graves is ghoulish. I can really, like that movie director that was butchered by his own son. Horrible. And
Rob Reiner.
I used his show as an example for the last 4 years on this show. All in the Family, Archie Bunker. That is the one I identified as pure filth. And I'll stand by it. I don't think Rob Reiner deserved that. No one deserves that. The lady got shot in the face. She doesn't deserve that. But what choice does the officer have? Not a lawyer. The whole thing's a fucking tragedy. And people need to stop listening to the fake news. Stop, because she's out there and she believes that she's fighting Nazis. She believes she's saving the world and that the gulags and Trump and the fascism has arrived on our shores. And she believes it because all the movies and TV show and music and all of it is just telling her that for, 30-something years of her life, just being bathed in it. That's why I always praise my mother for the thing I've always told you guys. I didn't see all these movies or TV growing up. Literally, I did. We were not allowed. I got in trouble and got the TV turned off more than once trying to watch He-Man because she didn't like Skeletor. She didn't like the way he looked.
He-Man was a shit.
I never had Poison, Guns N' Roses. I didn't grow up with that. So I'm different. I'm not saying I'm better, but by the grace of God, my mom understood that the mass media was filth and it will brainwash you. It will. So we were it was forbidden for us. So yeah. And and this is another thing. Michael Coulter says the guy that had to shoot her, he got ran over back in the spring and had to have surgery. He got all fucked up by getting run over already. So
yeah.
So I don't know.
It's messed up, man. It really is, and it's sad that these people are brainwashed or indoctrinated or whatever to the point where you're out there doing that. Of course, and that goes without saying, hey, fire's hot and puppies are cute. All right. Of course, the lady didn't deserve to get shot in her goddamn neck for doing that. But she definitely put herself in that situation.
Right.
What are you doing? And she has 3 children. Where are they? What did you do to get them taken away from you? Why are they not your main concern? Why are you out here at whatever o'clock in the morning on a fucking random Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it was, doing this? Why do you have the time? Why do you not work?
But here's the thing, Jericho. Let's say what I'm saying is true. This is a hypothetical. We put you in a time machine to 1938 Nazi Germany, 1937, 38, Hitler's rise to power, and you're in the position to do something about it. Would you not do something about it? You're in the position to stop 9/11. You would do something about it. She thinks that's what she's doing. It's insane to me, but I know they think that.
At least with Hitler, there was proof. There was actual proof. There was there was like with Trump, you can just go to a place called the internet and look up, okay, take it piece by piece. Trump said this. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Trump said this. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, there's a video. And let me click on that. Oh, shit. He really, what he said after that was the 90 minutes after that, you know?
Right. Except for the part where they never do the follow-up and they fight you if you try to show it to them. I had someone start screaming at me, run out of the room and run into the other part of the house when I tried to show them the Fine People Hoax video. Started psychosis screaming. I don't want to hear that. He's always talking out of his ass. That racist. Get it away from me. Turn that shit up. Like I was waving a weapon.
Here's proof.
But here's the thing. This is operating on a subconscious level. These people. It is a psychosis. It's a mass hallucination. It's a mass psychosis for these people. And it cost this woman her life. And Heather was saying, you know, supporting an ICE agent isn't dancing on a grave. That's not what I'm saying, Heather. I'm saying the people that make fun of her. Bitch deserved it. Ha ha ha. All the I've seen that. Crazy. It isn't just people making fun of Charlie Kirk. I've seen people making edits and videos, all the shit making fun of her. That's not funny. Was she horrible politics and maybe a bad person? I don't know. I don't know her. But she shouldn't have died like that.
No.
Terrible. But she puts this agent in that position. What the hell is he supposed to do? A car is a deadly weapon. Obviously, potentially it can be. You can do a lot of damage.
So is a rock. People have been getting killed. How many people have been killed by vehicles and killed by a rock? Like when you see, you know, they're throwing rocks at police and you're on riot gear off of an overpass or something. Oh, they're just throwing rocks. Motherfucker, millions of people have been killed by rocks.
Well, let's go back. The OG murder, the very first murder of a human in the Bible.
The first 187.
Cain killed his brother Abel with a rock.
With a rock. It's
so
whatever.
Jericho.
Whatever pound, you know, 5-10 pound rock, you'll crush somebody's skull like an eggshell. That's extremely deadly. And you throw it at somebody, man. But again, you know, the police
they're saving the world. They do.
But the police carry guns on them. That's what sets them apart from everyday citizens. If you live in a non-free state like California, they have guns. So don't do anything to make them use them.
Right. You know, my uncle was an attorney. Rest in peace, Uncle Dave. Cool uncle. World Series of Poker. He placed like 11th in 2006 or 7 or something like that. He was a big poker guy. Good lawyer. Cool uncle. I understood him more after he died. It's a weird thing to say. I won't go into it all, but the older I get, the more I live. I'm like, oh, I see why he was that way or told me this or that. Because we had a lot of tension when I was younger, me and my uncle. I didn't like him. And then the older I got, the more I liked him. And then he passed away. But I realized a lot of it was me when I was young. But he told me when I was very young, the cops, this is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I'm telling you what my attorney, my uncle told me. Cops stop you? Yes, sir. That's it. You don't talk. You just follow their legal commands. You keep your hands on the steering wheel. You hand them your insurance, your license. If they want to handcuff you and take you away, go. That's what lawyers are for. And that's what court is for. If they falsely arrest you, don't worry. We'll get the lawyer. We'll get you out of there. Do not wrestle the cops. Don't run from the cops. Don't drive. Now, how do you see that ending? How do
Badly.
You see yeah, there's no way out of that. What are you going to go to another country to live there? It's not Grand Theft Auto, the video game, where they stop looking for you if you hide long enough.
Yeah, if you run more than 100 yards, you're free.
Yeah.
They stop chasing you after 100 yards.
Well, and I told my kids that when they got their driver's license, I showed my son, here's how you change a tire. If you're on a hill changing a tire, you put a brick behind your back tire so the car doesn't roll when you get on the jack. And it actually saved his ass because he was on a hill changing a tire. The car fell off the jack, but the rock stopped it from rolling away too much. And but I told them, if you get stopped by the cops, you turn the lights on, you get your insurance and all that, you keep your fucking hands on the steering wheel. Yes, sir. You know, and you don't answer their questions. Just yes, sir. You don't like start talking because they'll just use it against you. And you behave. And then if they did it illegal, they did it wrong. There's a body camera, there's recording. We'll go to court. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Let them do what they're going to do. Let them say what they're going to say. You just be polite, respectful. And then if anything was done wrong, improperly, illegally, take care of it.
Yeah. Well, I think Heather says she wished she would have listened to cops. Yeah. Me, you, and her kids probably wish that, and her whole family. And I tell you this, I don't know him, not a mind. I'm sure the ICE agent wishes he didn't have to do that.
Yeah. They don't
and
want
I'm sure
to.
He has all kinds of questions and regret. Is like, Well, did I have to do it? Was she attacking me? Was she this? Was she trying to? He doesn't know, and he'll never know because he can't ask her. And he has to live with that. You think he's happy? You think he enjoyed that? This isn't a fucking movie or a cartoon where people kill people and they're happy about it. You ask anyone. I have friends that are veterans that served in the global war on terror. It ain't fun killing people. I have friends that were in the army on the ground in Afghanistan, in the army, soldiers, just foot soldiers. They were not, high level, whatever. So I had a friend, one of his jobs was clearing buildings door to door. Stryker vehicle. It's a big vehicle. You put a bunch of troops in it. They jump out of the vehicle. They kick doors in and they shoot people from feet away, from yards away. Shotguns, rifles. It's a mess. It's scary. It's disgusting. Your friends get killed. You're killing people. And it's a nightmare. Nobody wants to do this shit. It's awful. It's truly awful. So my heart goes out to all of them. The people I blame the most, I blame the individual, the lady, because hey, come on, you're an adult. But I also know she's a victim of the brainwashing. And this is why, and I don't mean to make this about me, but it is who I am. This is why I quit working for Warner Brothers. This is why. And you say, how? How is Superman related to that? Because when I help Warner Brothers with my tremendous skill write awful stories about the white man and the Nazis and the ICE agents or fascists, when I make stuff like that with them, I am brainwashing Renee Good and people like her and getting them hurt, killed, arrested. And even if none of that extreme stuff happens, I'm just making them miserable because I'm lying to them about a nightmare they're not really living in. This is why I quit working there. It's directly why, because I didn't want to tell those kind of stories because I know the power of art. It's the main thing. It's the main vehicle they use to control things. Movies, TV, music. I thank God my mom didn't let us watch this stuff.
I'll be right back.
All right. So yeah, it's heavy stuff. It's a really sad time for our culture and our country. And we are in a war. I think a lot of people don't understand when they're in a fight. And like you are in a hot culture war. And it is there are metaphorical shots being fired every day in the way mostly the news reporting, the music, the movies, all that stuff. The way that stuff is done is an attack on you and your culture and your family every day. It's why I do what I do. It's why I made this stuff. Is this like a sales pitch? Of course it is to a degree. Business is what I have to do. It's what I do. But it is the truth. I could have just stayed at Warner's and Disney. I am that good. They loved me. I could have just stayed there if it was all about the money. But to me, there's like, you got to be able to sleep at night. If I'm just making stories about fascist this and sexist that and homophobic this, I'm ruining people's lives if I make that kind of stuff. Literally ruining their life by brainwashing them about a hell they're not really living in. Let's see. I feel really bad for that ICE agent and his neighbor that was doxing him and gave out his address on. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, that's, I'm a strong believer in the Bible. I quote it on this show. I'm not better than you. I'm not a holy man who's better than you. I'm only saved by grace. I'm a sinner. So don't take this the wrong way. But I just remember certain Bible verses when I hear stuff like that. And there's one that says, God is not mocked. As a man soweth, so shall he reap. So you got to be very careful when you're doing things because it will come back to you. If you sow corn, you'll grow corn. If you want to sow a bunch of weeds and thorns, you're going to grow those instead. So be careful what you're planting with your actions, So it's a woman neighbor. Yeah, the woman thing in our culture is out of control. The misery and bitterness and anger that so many Western women feel, and they don't know how to manage it correctly, and they become destructive to society. It's really a tragedy to see. Because when a woman is in their purpose and in their element, it's a sight to behold. It's a thing of beauty. My wife is that way. She's beautiful. She's ultra feminine. She's super caring and patient. She's super agreeable. You know those women that just disagree and henpeck their husbands? Never happens to me. I don't get nagged. I don't get a honey-do list or chores on the weekend or anything like that. She's my sidekick. She lets me lead, and then she does everything in her power to fulfill the plan that I come up with. And it works. That's the design, by the way. That's how we're designed as men and women. As men lead, and then women are the helpers, and we both win together. And it's a thing of beauty when women are in their element, being mothers, being the homemaker. Men can't make a home like women. If I live by myself, my mattress might be on the floor. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Women love to make the nest. They love to feed everyone. They you know, there's scientific research that shows from birth, females, women, girls love people. That's what they're interested in. And men are interested in things. And then you think about what we do. Yeah, men make cars, we make computers, we build careers, we like things, and women like people. And that's a major sex difference in our mentalities. And it's what makes the world go. You need both. Well, if both of us did it, then someone would be ignoring the home. And if both of us like people and nobody like things, then nobody would build dams and bridges and refrigeration. So I don't know why people are trying to fight nature, trying to fight God and fight science. I guess the devil started the fight in the very beginning, and people are unwittingly following him. But it's really sad to see, man, when Charlie Kirk got killed, the reactions I saw, the ugly ones, it doesn't make me mad. It makes me like sad for that person. You're going to have to stand in front of God someday and explain why you had that in your heart. And when I see people talk about this Renee that got shot in the face, dude, and they're laughing at it, you're going to have to tell God one day why you thought that was funny, why you thought that was okay. It's sickening, dude.
You know, I don't think people really do. They're just doing that.
It's for
people
show.
To be outraged. Yeah, for people to be like, oh shit, I can't believe you did
but don't
that.
you think that's okay? Let's say you're joking, you're making like a real edgy joke, and you don't mean it. Don't you think that's still bad though to even joke that way? I'm not saying censor, but I'm saying that's bad for your soul.
That's in poor taste. Yeah, that's not cool. It's a bad thing to do. Yeah, it's an awful thing to do. But I think most of them are just getting it or doing it and saying it to outrage people. But I think also equally as bad, I would be open to the argument that it's worse, are people who are using this for their own gain to get eyeballs on themselves. For example, you have people at the Golden Globes. One of them was Mark Ruffalo. Like, if you ever thought to yourself, man, I wish I could make a pussy 6 feet tall. There you go. It's Mark Ruffalo, the guy who plays the Incredible Hulk. He had a pin on his tuxedo that said "Be good," as in, be like Rachel, or what's her name? Rachel? What was it?
I don't know.
Rachel Good or something, whatever. Renee. You know, be like Renee Good. And she was murdered. And who else? A bunch of them up there saying she was murdered by ICE. And they're like, oh, tell me about your pin. Oh, it's Be Good, like Renee Good. And then this comedian, Wanda Sykes, she's like, oh, yeah, this pin is for...
Hold on. Comedian Wanda Sykes.
Yeah, heavy air quotes.
I don't think she's ever made a person laugh in her life.
Heavy air quotes on comedian, but the actress Wanda Sykes, she's like, yeah, it's for that mother in Minneapolis who was murdered. That mother, why don't you know her name? Why wouldn't you say her name? If I'm saying, oh, Gabe, yeah, I was talking about that president who got assassinated
in Dallas, the one in the limo in Dallas.
Yeah, he got assassinated. That guy, that president. Why wouldn't I say JFK?
Right.
Why wouldn't you say Renee Good? Because you don't know her fucking name. You have your assistant, your PR rep who said, all right, here you're walking out there. All right, Wanda, here you go. Put this on. All right, put this. Well, who's that pin for? It's this lady in Minneapolis who got killed. She's a mother. Oh, I got a mother. Because once you're a mother, you're exonerated for all accusations, any wrongdoing. You can do no wrong. You're a mother. She's a mother. Oh my God, she's a mother. One thing I learned, and I hope everybody doesn't get to learn this. I hope everybody doesn't have this experience, but I think we all do. Titles, family titles, mom, dad, brother, sister, uncle, cousin, all that shit, auntie, grandma, all that bullshit. That's exactly what they are. They're titles. They're just monikers. They're something you're slapped with because we share the same DNA. But you have to earn that, because you can have people who have no blood relation to you, who are better to you and have done more for you and care more for you, than people who do share your DNA. So I think the people who are using it as this mother. Oh my God,
mother who was stuck in traffic, according to Adam Schiff.
Yeah, she was just. Yeah, we've all been in gridlock. You've all been in traffic, and then all of a sudden you look up and you're in the midst of a federal ICE raid. That's happened to all of us. It happened to me last week.
Then one of the agents goes, she's in traffic. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
What's the
lesbian?
Right. Right.
Then they all just pull their guns out and just light her fucking car up because she's a fucking broad, right?
Yeah,
Because she's a
she was
chick.
a woman in traffic.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
fuck her.
why. And then all
Fuck
the other
her.
women in traffic they didn't kill for some other known reason. These lies they have are so embarrassingly stupid, and but it's like, you know, the story, the old children's fable, the emperor's new clothes, right? You know, everyone knows that one. And they all lie, and they all know they're lying, and they all just agree on the lie. And it's always word games. Oh, so you're saying it was good she got shot in the face. No, I'm saying it was fucking terrible. I'm saying it was actually terrible, and the news has got to be held accountable somehow. You know, where's our dignity and honor with the news to stop being fake news and just lying all the time?
But who is Adam Schiff targeting with that obviously ridiculous statement that she was stuck in traffic? Well, the barrier separating you and the truth, that lie is a barrier, and that lie is like wet toilet paper. How much does it take? How much force does it take to break through a piece of wet toilet paper? None. So why wouldn't you break through that to the truth? So you're telling, how come they don't look at that statement and go, that lady was sitting in traffic and the ICE agent just fucking shot her?
Here's why, because they don't want to believe it. And Scott Adams, rest in peace, he passed away this morning. We talked about it. He talks so much about persuasion and language because he was a master of it. One of the concepts that he explained to all of us who were devotees of his is the fake because. I can give you any reason, and if you want to believe the answer, you'll believe my reason. He said, try this like when you go out and you don't want to wait in line. You're like, at Starbucks, you go, can I go ahead of you? My backpack's in my car. That doesn't even make sense, but most people will be like, okay. It's called a fake because. If you just add A, B, C logic, even if it's illogical, the people who want to believe it will. You know, and if you want to believe that ISIS, Nazis, and Gestapo and the gulags and all of it's coming, and they're grabbing people off the street and killing them, you'll believe any fake because. So when Adam Schiff tells you an innocent mother was stuck in traffic, therefore she was shot, and that's why she was shot, you're like, because you want to believe it. You want to believe it, dude. So you're just going, you know it's a lie. Everyone knows it's bullshit.
But it's a ridiculous lie. It's not a little tiny white lie.
It doesn't. The part of it that is so insidious, that works so well, is the people participating in that lie. They know that it infuriates you, and that throws you off your like game of being able to debate them. They know that it's so insane that you debating it with them is also insane. Would you debate me if I told you the sky was purple, pink, green, polka dot all day, every day? Why would you debate me on that? Do you know what I mean? If I'm telling you a lie that's so patently false, why even bother? You know, there's a saying in Latin, it's margaritas ante porcos. And I don't fight on people Twitter that much, but I have in the past. People have said stuff and I'll tell them so. And eventually I'll always write that to them. And what that means in Latin, margaritas ante porcos, it means pearls before swine. So you're wasting your time, dude. If you took valuable pearls, $100,000 worth of pearls, you threw them in front of pigs, what would the pigs do? They'd smell them and then they don't know what it is. You know, my dog doesn't understand me either. You know why? Because he's an idiot compared to me. So I saw someone on Twitter write, sometimes you have to realize you're interacting with the entire bell curve of intelligence. On the internet, you are talking to dullards, dude. You're talking to average intelligence, below average. You're talking to geniuses, but you're talking to a lot of dum-dums. And I would say, because our society is so successful and has so much abundance, if I had to guess, the average intelligence is actually pretty low because there's not a lot of rigor in society. You can get by kind of like an inner tube on a lazy river in the West. You can just kind of get by. You can float through life and have clothing, internet, a roof, food, basic health care. You can with very little intelligence and very little effort. You can. It won't be glamorous. So I think when there's no rigor, there's not much intelligence. And I don't think there's much rigor in our society. It doesn't demand that much from it. So
it's insane, man. It really is. I got to the point where, like on Instagram or something, like I posted, there's this thing, Derek Chauvin. It's got over 100,000 views. But Derek Chauvin, he was saying, his lawyer was saying that he's probably going to appeal his sentence. or try to get a new trial. And I said, makes sense. And I had a picture. It was a split screen of him and then George Floyd. And I said, it makes sense. Old Patriot Saint of fentanyl over here died of an overdose. Fight me in the comments, you woke bitch. So people will come in the comments and they'll just say all kinds of stupid shit. And I got to the point where I just write, okay, and then okay, comma, and then I'll write F_GG_T. And that's just my response to all of them. Okay, you know, and then whatever. I don't ever read their response after that. But some of the things they say are just so stupid. Like, man, I'm not even going to type everything to rebut.
Well, let's say you do. Let's say you make a perfect airtight argument that would impress the Supreme Court justices. And you hit send on Twitter, and then what, Jericho? Right? Nothing.
Yeah, it's just
a waste of your time. It's futility. That's why to me, it's like, oh, I don't argue online. I'll just like, sometimes someone insult me. I usually just block them. And the best block, the greatest block that exists in social media is YouTube. Do you know what happens if you block someone from your channel on YouTube?
Mm-mm.
They don't know they're blocked and nobody can see them, but they can see their comment. So people that hate me could be in the chat right now commenting and they see it going up and they think everyone can see it and no one can see it. And they can leave comments on your posts and your videos and only they can see it. That is some grade A. That is so funny to me. I wish the other social medias would do that because they're just screaming into the void, these people.
Yeah, that would be like just putting them in a room by themselves with a mirror. And everything they're saying, they're just saying it to
Well,
themselves.
Occasionally I'll tweet something and there'll be a comment. It'll say like one comment and you click on it and you can't see the comment. It's like, oh, that's someone I blocked a long time ago. But I don't know. The internet's a weird place, man, because you're not talking to people and you would never be this mad or talk this way to people in real life for the most part, because their humanity is a foot away from you. But when it's a black screen with white letters on it, you're yelling at Twitter. You're not yelling at a human. It's like we weren't made for this, and it's very weird. It's very weird. But I wanted to talk about the dancing on the graves thing. Look at this shit here. So Scott Adams, one of my heroes, he passes away this morning. And this person writes this article here, People Magazine. They say, when OJ died, OJ Simpson, dead at 76 from cancer, family announces. Scott Adams, disgraced Dilbert creator, dies at 68.
Jeez.
Why would you do that? Now, I don't think they should insult OJ either. Again, he did what he did. He may be this, that, or the other, but he has humanity. He is a human. God made him. And by the way, Jericho, if you're wondering, the person that hated Scott Adams wrote the article about him. This is the person that hated Scott Adams. I have to tell you, if one would be not at all and 100 would be shocked when I saw this picture, negative 4,000.
Dude, she looks like she would write an article like that.
Yes.
She looks like all she knows about him was either told to her or what she looked up through other people that feel like her. She's probably never read his comic strip. She doesn't look old enough to have been young enough to have read his comic strip and enjoyed it as a child. So, of course, and she knows nothing about the things that he's done. She probably knows nothing. She, like I said, knows nothing about how it felt to enjoy his artwork, or his comic strips, or read his books or anything like that. She's just coming from it half informed or not informed at all, just pure, somebody put a battery in her back. This is how you're supposed to feel about this guy.
Yeah, well, he doesn't agree with Faulkner, so he's a bigot. You know.
But that's just she's coming at it with fake outrage. You're not really mad at him. You're mad because somebody told you to be mad. Right. That's like somebody, well, I don't like that person, so I don't want you to like them either. Instead of saying you have your own experience with them, I have my own. If you don't like them, that's cool. But if I choose to like them, I'm not going to not like them because you don't. That's childish and stupid.
I don't know if you experienced this because you didn't work in like the entertainment business for the companies like I have, but even in comic books, because I know it goes on in movies and TVs way worse. Even in comic books, back in the woke era, like, 2015, 16, 17, 18, like the height of wokeness. If you liked the wrong tweet, if you were following the wrong person on Twitter or whatever, I hid some of the YouTube channels I watch, and then I realized you could make your subscriptions private and all that because I didn't want to get into it, and then you start losing work from Warner Brothers. Oh, we don't have anything for you coming up after Superman. And oh, yeah, hit us up in 6 months. After, 15 years of working there, all of a sudden they're not going to have work for a person, right? And I'd seen it happen to other guys that were, all they did wrong was vote for Bush or Romney. That's all they did. And their work stopped. And they had legendary work. One of the greatest Batman writers of all time, Chuck Dixon, because he's an out conservative, he hasn't worked for like 20 years for those companies. But if you go look at Nightwing and Batman and some of the greatest stories ever, some of the greatest Punisher stories in the 80s and all that, it's Chuck Dixon. Chuck Dixon is a prolific writer. He's working for my buddy Eric July writing comics, and he writes novels. But guess what? He wrote one of his novels turned into a movie. It was a Working Man with Jason Statham. You know that movie from last year, Jason Statham? It was #1 in the world at the box office for 1 week before the Minecraft movie came out. And Chuck wrote that. So I guess he got the last laugh. He's free from Disney and Warner's, and he's doing his own thing, and he's quite successful at it. But I knew, like, you could get a private message like, dude, I heard you like Jericho's tweet. Like, man, you should take that down. Have you ever experienced anything like that? Those whisper networks? Because it was in my business. It still is, but it was insane. Like 16, 17, 18, those times.
Yeah. When I was at, before it became iHeartRadio, it was Clear Channel. And iHeartRadio was like a huge left-leaning, and so was Clear Channel. It was huge left-leaning, fucking progressive. They what's it called? The BIN, the Black Entertainment or Black Information Network. It's a radio station put out by iHeartRadio.
I have so many racist jokes in my head about the information they give out. Go ahead.
Dude, it is the dumbest. It's a huge slap in the face for anybody intelligent enough to see it.
Right.
It's gobbledygook. It's nothing. It's nonsense. All it is headlines. Today in Baltimore, blah, blah, blah. Today in Georgia and Atlanta. Today, blah, blah, blah.
Can we talk about a woke black fable that I've heard that pisses me off, because I am 100% sure it's not true, of sundown towns. Black people go into these neighborhoods when the sun goes down. They'll disappear. They'll be lynched. They'll be killed. Where did this nonsense come from? That is not a thing. It doesn't exist anywhere. Are there bad individuals? Yeah. There's a bad guy out there that hates black people. There's a bad Chinese guy that hates white people. There's a bad black guy that hates Irish people. There's a bad Mexican guy that hates Filipinos, whatever. They're individuals. There is no fucking city where the cops are in on it and they kidnap and kill black people. That is not a thing. You are black. Educate me. Where the hell did that come from now?
That's funny that you would say a black person that hates Irish people, not white people, fucking Irish people. Like, where did
one thing I know about writing comedy is specific is always funnier than general.
Yeah, but why that laser focus on Irish people?
You know what the Irish did. We all know. I hate them.
You know what? Now, or after being, I wouldn't say being woken up or being woke.
Oh, you're woke now, are you?
Or being red pilled, but doing some research. How about that? Coming across new information. And it started with a documentary by Chad O. Jackson and Justin Malone. Chad O. Jackson, buddy of mine, super intelligent. Justin, an awesome filmmaker. They did 2 of them. I got invited to the premiere of the second one, but it talked about Martin Luther King, the real Martin Luther King, not the polished I Have a Dream that you see trotted out every January and every February, not the Selma, Alabama, walking arm in arm and being arrested. No, I shouldn't say the real Martin Luther King, because that was really him, what they show you, but the rest of Martin Luther King. How about that?
The nasty bits.
They show you the rest of Martin Luther King, his communist roots, his wealth redistribution, his woke ideology, his progressive ideology, the same thing that we're dealing with now, the same thing that we rail against now, the exalted, the coveted Martin Luther King, the golden calf Martin Luther King, was trafficking in the same stuff. So when you see that first layer, that first epidermis of the body bullshit, when you see it peeled away, you start peeling the other ones away. And then you start questioning everything. And then you hear things like Black Wall Street, the Tulsa riots. These evil white people came riding in or whomping into town. And they were beating up black people and they were killing black people and they were burning out their businesses and they were destroying their businesses, and the black people were just, as the sun came up, they were left in the literal and figurative rubble of their dreams and their hard work, never to recover. The white people, they beat something out of them that day. They never could rebuild. They just took that beating and took that loss, and they collected their pictures with the burnt edges, and they went off into the sunset sobbing into what was left of their belongings. Right? Wrong. I come to find out they rebuilt it 4 years later, and it thrived for another 20 years, or another 40 years, excuse me, until the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement, that was awesome. That made it so I could go into that lunch counter and say, white woman, you better bring me some eggs and toast and a cup of coffee. I'm sitting at your lunch counter now, and I'm spending my money in your businesses, and I can go up in your stores now, and you can't tell me to leave, and you can't follow me around, and I can do all the things that I want to do in these white businesses in these white areas. But then where's the rest of that? Because if all your money is going to the white businesses, what about the black businesses that you frequented and you used? Because there were black communities that mirrored white ones. Bus services, even the white people used the black-owned bus services, and doctors and nurses and teachers and store owners. It was like a mirror image.
It was a job from the government to take down the black people.
But that's what they don't tell you.
The civil rights movement was to hurt blacks and not help them.
And nailed it, federal government, by the way. But we're sold this Martin Luther King civil rights movement, we shall overcome. It was awesome, and it wasn't. Because if you look at the numbers of black people being married and black children raised in two-parent homes, and the success rate and the incarceration rate, all those things were much better before this precious civil rights movement that we're good, and all of it was good. And if you don't say it was good, then you were some kind of racist or you're a sellout. But come to find out, all this is bullshit. Rosa Parks, that poor black lady with her sore feet and her tired back, she sat in the front of the bus. That white man said, go to the back, you darky. And she said, I'm not going to do it. And she started something, a spark started an explosion in the South. And black people, that bitch was married and had a car. And the woman that the NAACP was going to use before her, they were going to go with that woman. And she turned out to be pregnant out of wedlock. And back when America had standards, that was a no-no, and abortions weren't celebrated. They didn't pull up portable abortion centers to the DNC.
What are they thinking doing that there?
So they were going to use that woman. She got pregnant out of wedlock. Hell no, that's taboo. Let's go with this married woman who had a vehicle. So I'm saying all that to say this sundown town bullshit is exactly that. The lynchings. Oh my goodness. Black folks from 1619 to 1968. So many black people. Turns out it was 4,000 black people that were lynched in that time. They don't tell you about the almost 2,000 white people who were also lynched. And they also don't tell you that black people kill other black people at almost 8,000 a year. So that shit's all over that 4,000 in that few hundred year span. But they're not telling you the whole fucking story. So I have my dad's side of the family from Mississippi. That's where they made slavery, right? Jackson, Mississippi. The words are hot coming out of my mouth, okay? Mississippi. I got my stepdad who raised me. He was from Okotosa, Oklahoma, back when racism was real racism. It didn't have to be manufactured and made up, and it wasn't synthetic. It was the real,
the racism has mirrored our food. We used to have real ingredients at the grocery store in the food, and now it's all fake.
Yeah,
we used to have real racism, and now it's all fake.
It's all processed. Now we have processed racism, right? It used to be natural ingredients. Now it's all processed bullshit. But now I'm questioning that. Was it ever that bad in the South? Because I have family members who are from the South, and I never heard them talk about that. Well, I never heard them complain about that.
Like I said, every human being is an individual. There's an aggregate, sure, of how people generally behave in a culture. But to be psychotic, to beat people up, to murder people, kidnap, rob them, rob a bank, steal a car, these are outlier behaviors. So were there racist people that hurt black people? Of course there were. But just any human to kill another human or beat the shit out of them or rob, That's outlet. It's like it's an outlier, dude. That can't be the norm. Most people are just going about their day working, paying bills, whatever race. And the
Our
whole
society couldn't
sundown
function.
thing. Oh, there's places black people can't go in 2026. There's cities black people can't go when the sun goes down. They get killed. Shut the fuck up. If I go to ATM late at night, I don't worry. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4". But you know what? I wouldn't want to be at an ATM and there are like 4 guys behind me. And I wouldn't care if they were black, Irish, Chinese, Filipino, whatever. I don't need a bunch of young men near me when I'm at the ATM at night. It's just the fact that they're men. And I'm one man and they are plural.
But it depends. It also depends on what type of men are these. Are these 4 men standing around in suits talking about Bitcoin stocks?
Right.
Or are these 4 ne'er-do-wells with tattoos and shit in their pants hanging around their ass? And it doesn't matter what color they are.
No.
If that's what you look like, I don't want you around me when I'm extracting money from a machine. Are you fucking kidding me? But is it 4 old guys, with their pants hiked up to their nipples talking about the good old days? Yeah, I'm not going to worry about them standing behind me. So it's what type of people are they? It's not your fucking color.
Right.
It's what type of people are you?
I noticed that we can all realize it's not sexist to say, yeah, you should be worried about young men at night. Because it is a sex difference between men and
women.
Women ain't doing nothing to me. But if I'm outnumbered in a dark alley and there are men ages 16 to 25, I don't want to be there. No. I don't want, no thanks. I don't know these guys. I don't know what they're up to.
You know? And if it's at night, it's a wrap. If it's a night, the group of people I'm not worried about gets even smaller.
Right.
It gets even smaller. Like if you're not some golden girls or some chicks, I don't want you behind me. If I don't care if it's 5 chicks, I'm not worried about it because I'll smoke all 5 of them in record time.
What about that one I sent you, the guy beating up all the Antifa dorks?
Oh, dude, I can't wait to do a video on that.
We'll show the audience.
He is sleeping fools. But the guy is, imagine what that sounds like to be blowing that bullhorn in his ear like that. And he kept trying to walk away and the guy kept following him. So I know as soon as the guy walked away, he had a countdown in his head. Like, I'm going to give this guy 3 more times to fuck with me and then it's over, or whatever the number was. As soon as he reached it, hey, he was handing out sleeping pills to everybody. Right. And everybody was getting dosed. And then this guy, he comes back for more.
Right. So for context, it's like an ICE protest or whatever. These little communist rats are going around, and this little shithead has a loudspeaker megaphone. Like, you could deafen someone. You could
in his ear.
And that would be illegal. That would be assault, actually. Assault and battery. You're injuring someone. And this dude proves that men who are left-wing have very low testosterone. This guy smokes them all. Let's watch and enjoy.
Dude, he just starts handing out sleeping pills.
Narrate this, Jericho, like you're narrating UFC for me.
Yeah. So he keeps blasting him in the ear with the air horn. He tells him, stop, stop. Now he tells him to stop, get away from me. He won't, gets in his stance. The guy can't fight. Boom, he doesn't recognize the signs. They come to his rescue, and everybody take a nap. Take a nap. You get a nap. Who else needs to go to sleep? You look tired. Boom, go to sleep. Oh, not yet. No, all right. Hold on. I'm going to give you another chance. Keep him back. No, let me go. Go to sleep. You here. Hey, you, red jacket. Good night and sleep. There we go. Sleep.
Love it.
Dude, like he was a magician. He snapped, or a hypnotist. They snapped everything. When I snap my fingers, you're going to fall asleep and sleep. That's what he did. That guy went, and he stiffened up. He stiffened up. That means he turned his light off real quick. He stiffened up.
In his house with his wife and 3 kids, he's in charge of putting the boys to sleep at night.
Hey, I hope he has 1 or more teenage sons at home who thought about fucking with him.
And then they saw the video of their dad. You would be super impressed and super terrified if you saw a video of your dad like that.
Yeah. And if there's more than 1 teenage boy at home, that he can take on more than 1 of us.
Yeah.
Dude, he was on it. You get a nap. You get a nap. Oh, and you want another one.
Oh.
Right. But that's what happens when people are put in these cocoons, these bubbles of, as long as you're doing it to this certified list of subhumans, it's fine. You can put, what are you thinking as a young man, And this dude, he looked like he was over 40.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have any more. He left all his bullshit in the car. He didn't bring any bullshit with him when all his bullshit was in the car in the glove box. He had none when he got out of the car. So what makes you think you can go up to a perfect stranger and put a megaphone in his ear? What do you and I would expect a physical response,
right,
if you blasted a megaphone in another grown man's ear?
But this is the mummification of our culture, where we take away the fatherly influence with Archie Bunker, All in the Family, Homer Simpson, Al Bundy. We said father is a fucking idiot. You never have to listen to him. Well, when you don't have a dad, you don't learn about fisticuffs, and you don't learn that violence is very quick and very brutal. And one thing, if you don't have a dad that introduces you to violence, and I don't mean your dad beats you, but he teaches you the way of men. And I don't ever in my life want to hear it from women again. Shut up, ladies. We don't need your input on that's too rough or don't let them fight. Quiet. You're going to get us all killed if we keep listening to your dumbasses about what a man should be. How the hell would a woman know what a man should be? Yeah. How? Elucidate that.
Vice versa.
You wouldn't know. So cram it. Quit ruining our boys by pussifying them, and then they go blow a bullhorn in someone's ear and get their lights put out. They don't understand.
Knocked out.
Yeah, they don't understand. If you do that, you are inviting violence.
And get knocked the fuck out.
But when you're with men and you grow up around men, you understand. Yeah, let them fight. Let them fight. Like that Godzilla movie.
And you noticed how the second time he got hit, the guy in the red jacket, he walked up to that guy in an aggressive manner with his hands at his side. Like he knows nothing about fighting. He obviously had no older brothers, or maybe you don't walk up to him who's already hit you. He's already hit you and two other people. You're coming back for more with your hands at your side.
And straight bodied too. No athletic stance. I will tell you this. I'm not a boxer, never boxed. I was a hell of a wrestler in high school for a minute there. Get in an athletic stance, you bend your knees, put your fucking chin down, and put your hands up. My goodness, those are basics everyone knows if you're around men and boys. You put your chin down. You don't put it out. This is the go to sleep button.
It's like this.
Yes. And you put it down. You put your damn chin down, put your fucking hands up.
Dude, I put both my kids in boxing. Both of them. And that's just like, my dad never sat me down and said, son, don't walk up to another man in an aggressive manner with your hands down at your side. That was just common sense. Like, you're coming there. Like, I would think if I have a megaphone and I'm going up to a dude to put it in his ear and blast it like beep, beep, loud as fuck. You know how loud those things are. Yeah. I'm doing that to cause a fight. Like, that's why I'm going up to you doing that. I mean, I'm doing it to cause a physical altercation because I know this is way over the fucking line. Well, this is way too far.
Well, it's just a noise, and I won't get in any trouble with the cops because they don't, because the crooked ass weak. Some of those cops are leftists in those towns, and we know it. We know they're total leftists. Some of the cops, not many, and at least the mayor giving them their orders is a leftist, hamstringing them, probably threatening their jobs, their pension, their retirement, all of it if they do anything. So they get away with blasting someone's eardrums out, which is illegal. It's assault, dude. I don't need to be a lawyer to know that. You can't deafen someone. That's against the law. And they think nothing's going to happen. It's that thing that little bratty sibling is like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. And, he got what he deserved. He got what he deserved. And he should have got that a long time ago. So he learned to stop that crap. But the way those cities are, they'll probably arrest that guy, get a left-wing jury, and then convict him of crazy assault and lock his ass up. Even though he was assaulted first, then ganged up on
multiple times,
defended himself, and they'll just say because he won the fight, he's the bad guy. See, we took a wrong turn. We let women have any influence on boys in the school, in the home, when we say zero tolerance for fighting. The zero tolerance policy. Remember that came in the late 90s, early 2000s, where it didn't matter who started the fight. You're both suspended. Really? What about self-defense? What about someone's getting bullied like Ralphie in the Christmas story and they fucking had enough? What about that?
Yep.
And I told you the story when I was a sophomore. I was on the football team and we were walking out of the locker room. We were going down, and in California, everything's outdoors. So we're sunny, walking down the sidewalk, and this something, going back and forth, teasing each other, me and my teammate Brian. and he went too far and said like, "Oh, I banged your mom last night." And I just clocked him in the mouth. He goes down halfway. And the coach is like 50 yards away. Coach Brown sprints at us. "What the hell are you doing? Why did you punch him?" I said, "He said he did my mom last night." And Coach Brown turns to Brian and goes, "I would have hit him too," and walks off. And then Brian, also being masculine, because that's how we were raised, he looks at me like, "Yeah, dude, sorry. Too much." Because we knew. And I didn't hate him. We were still buddies, teammates after that. But if you say you did that to my mom, you're getting popped. And you're going to accept it. You're going to be like, "Yeah, I shouldn't have said that." Me and Jericho are very, very good friends. You're one of the best friends I've ever had. If I said I did something to your mother, you would punch me and I would understand that I had that coming. And vice versa. Like, duh. Why would I say that? Unless I wanted to fight you, I guess.
Yeah, I made it clear to both of my kids, if you fight, if it's legitimate, you're defending yourself. I was like, don't worry about getting in trouble at home. The school, they can do whatever they want to do, but you're not in trouble here as long as you're sticking up for yourself or sticking up for somebody else. Maybe it's a friend of yours or some kid and they're getting picked on. But then also, like when I go to pick my kids up from school, if they have a doctor's appointment or whatever, in the office, when you're sitting there waiting for them to come in there after you sign them out, there's all these, are you against bullying? Anti-bullying. Don't be a bully. Bully. Everything, if you don't like it, it's bullying. That's what it's turned into. If you don't like it, it's bullying. If it's, some kind of criticism, it's bullying. No, stop it. Bullying is fucking with you. That's bullying. Adam
Carolla made fun of his son's woke school because they were trying to brainwash it. His kids are adults now. They're like 18. They just graduated high school. I remember listening to a show like 15 years ago. His kid was like, third grade or whatever. And he said he got bullied at school. And "Dad, I got bullied." And he explained to his dad, the comedian Adam Carolla, that he was trying to tell his friend something, a joke, or "Can I have a potato chip?" or some normal conversation. The kid didn't want to listen. So the kid covered his ears. And then he couldn't tell him. And that was bullying, he said.
No.
But see, that's that feminized world where if you make me feel bad, that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to weigh whether I should feel bad. Maybe I did something wrong. We're not going to ever question that. We're not going to look into that. It just, Jericho, when I borrowed your car and wrecked it, you know how much it hurt me when you told me that was bad? Do you know what that was like for me when you told me I shouldn't have wrecked your car? Do you know how hard that was to hear and how much you hurt? That's the world we live in now. Where if you tell someone they did something bad, then they're the victim. It's totally backwards and insane. It's totally
nuts. Like, how dare you fucking asshole, you wrecked my car. Don't make it about you.
My wife and I have a joke about that. We always say, "Oh, was it hard for you when that happened to me?"
Mm-hmm. But you'll hear women say a lot, I feel bad. I feel bad. I feel bad. I feel bad.
Squeeze their tit and go, "It feels great to me."
Like, these feel both of them. One more time. But they say, "I feel bad." I feel bad. Yeah, I get it, but fuck you gonna do? That's how it is. You feel bad about it. Yeah, I feel bad too, but I'm not gonna let that influence my decision or make me look at it differently. But yeah, I think we all feel the same, but how do we deal with those feelings? That's what separates us.
Yeah, the feelings.
Yeah, of course I feel bad. Yeah, I feel bad for that lady who got shot by ICE. I feel bad, when you hear about an American citizen being killed by an illegal. I feel bad for the American citizen, but I certainly don't feel bad for the person who's now in custody and they're going to prison. And that woman who was killed by the ICE agent, she's out there defending people who, if she walked past them in a dark alley, they would do the unthinkable to her and they would go home and sleep like a baby.
She's defending people from deportation who have ripped her off and her country for billions of dollars. Yeah. And hate, by the way, to the people, not her, she's dead, but to the people that agree with her and want to fight on her side to defend all these people for deportation, these people they're deporting, they're ripping us off for billions. They hate white people. I just want to let you white liberals know that. They hate you. They hate you, and they hate your country, and they hate your religion. Just so you know. And the black sincerely folks hate it. Like, sincerely hate America.
And the black folks who are supporting it too, they hate you too. You share no commonality with these people. They don't see you as their African brothers who were taken away from them hundreds of years ago. They look down on you. They think you're all the booty shaking, jewelry wearing rappers they see on TV, the thugs they see in the movies. That's what they think of all American black folks. So don't thinking you're helping your diaspora and you're helping the motherland by sticking up for these fucking Somalians who are over here stealing your money, you jackass. They don't like you. You are just like these liberal white women out here in the streets. And the worst ones are the older ones. You're supposed to fucking know better. You're just like those white women out there who are saying, you're going to fucking shoot me too. Right here. Hit me right here. Blah, blah, blah. You're just like the liberal white woman who's a lieutenant governor of Minnesota who put on a hijab and was speaking Somalian. And her name is Peggy Flanagan. It gets no more Irish Catholic than Peggy fucking Flanagan. And you're up there in a hijab talking about, the Somalian people, they're part of the fabric of Minnesota. Do you think you would ever see an imam put on a priest robe or a female Muslim wear a nun's habit? Never. They wouldn't let it touch their skin. But you're stupid, but you're useful idiot asses up there wearing a fucking hijab, you moron.
I want to know what you think of this. We were talking about these women yelling at the ICE agent to get her now. It's her turn. And George Alexopoulos, he's very famous online for his comic strips. He made one about like an ICE agent here and a liberal woman. And it says in the first panel, I know you're mad at me, darling. I just love this country so much it hurts. In fact, I want to love this country all night long. And the woman, she wakes up. She's having this sexual dream about the ICE agent or whatever. And I really think there's something to it. Someone made fun of this one. They turned it into like a dirty romance novel of the woman detained by desire. The new bestseller. What are you going to do? Are you going to handcuff me and restrain me? Are you going to hold me down because I'm out of control? Are you going to assert your authority over my body? Like, I think these liberal women, the liberal men are so pussified. They have no testosterone. They give off zero fuck power. If I could be crude, the liberal men have zero fuck power and the women know it. And they want the conservative men. They want to, this is adult talk here. They want to be manhandled in a good way. And the liberal guys aren't up to the job, dude. They're not.
Yeah. They want a guy who's like 6'3", fucking works out, but he's like 40 to 45, got some gray hair, has a fucking We the People tattoo on his forearm, maybe an American flag with like fucking, the wreckage of 9/11, the Twin Towers, tattoo on him. Maybe ex-military, just the total conservative, red-blooded, fucking ribeye steak eating, truck driving, country music motherfucker, two-way all day, son of a bitch. A guy like that, he has a bunch of guns and shit and he hunts. They want that guy to fucking twist their hair around his fist and fucking blow their back out and leave their fucking crevice.
It just makes you laugh. Our current Secretary of Defense, he's not a slob, and he looks like he's in the army. He's got tattoos. He's works out. You can tell. And the women, this guy, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna capture me? Is he gonna hold me down? Is he gonna easy lady? I feel like you're reading your journal to me.
That's what they want. They want him to leave their crevice smoking. They want handprints all over him. Yeah, they want to be fucking the running mascara, all that. That's what they want from that guy. Funny. Not the fucking, the beta male pussy that they've created at home. They want that guy.
Right. The guy that can do that around.
They can't do that though. They can't do that because they've created this circle of, other hands that if anything right of psychotic, you're going to be exiled. You're an extremist. You're MAGA. You're fucking MAGA.
Are you telling me there's a who's the Indian congressman with the insane wig? Oh yeah.
Oh dude, that thing is unnecessary.
That thing.
Whoa.
You're telling me they hate Pete Hegseth, but they want this guy here?
That's a dead muskrat on top of his fucking head.
Yeah.
Like that thing makes a noise. It's alive. It squeaks. If it gets wet, it fucking squeaks. This guy.
Open image.
That's what they want. That's what they want men to be like. Look at that shit. That's like, what the fuck is that, dog?
He looks fake. He looks
Nah, dude.
like an AI generated person or something.
Nah, you got to go back to your home country until you fix your hair.
He's got to go back to his planet, dude, or
Get
dimension.
Get out of here.
From? I feel like if I was in a museum late at night, this guy would come out of some artifact and grant me 3 wishes or something, or he's like some interdimensional being. He's
but
that thing on his head?
One of your wishes can't be for more wishes, though. You know that.
This guy says he looks like he had a facelift and they left his neck. Oh boy. Oh yeah, that's
Dude, he look. What the fuck is that, man? Who's he fooling?
But that's my theory on why so many women are out there with the ICE agents. Subconsciously, they love it. They love the masculinity and the danger. They love it. Women love that. They love danger, but it's not real. But danger, but it's not real. You know, they love that, real out there. That little stick your finger in the candle flame and pull it out. You know, look at like Beauty and the Beast. Let's psychoanalyze that fairy tale for a minute here.
Yeah, that dude's a dog, and you guys want to have sex with him.
Well, he's a huge monster that rules a castle and rah, 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 and all, you can kill everyone. And the beautiful woman charms him with her beauty and tames him.
But he won't kill me.
Now he's her monster.
Yeah, you know? He'll kill everybody else. He'll go out and maraud and murder every night, but not me.
Wait, that dude with the smooth face was 70 years old?
Who do people think they're fooling when they do that shit? When you're old, but you got this fucking, your hair has no gray hair in it, and you're fuck out of here.
I always feel sorry, and when I'm at the grocery store, you see the grandpa with the black shoe polish hair,
jet black,
but then the roots are like orange to white, you know, because the dye is like fading away. And
dude, just let it happen, man. You earned it.
Yeah,
you earned those gray hair.
Look at this gray hair, this salt and pepper, looking nice, looking dignified.
You earned it, man. Embrace it. But no, they go the total opposite direction.
Well, it's an intense show today, guys. We got a lot off our chest. Our national tragedy with this ICE stuff, and the left just won't stop trying to dismantle the West. Guys, keep your head up. Life is good. It's a glass half full. In my opinion, in my case, I think it's a glass overflowing. Get the Unstoppable Tyrus, guys. Tuesday the 20th. The book's already done. It already exists. You know, guaranteed to get it then. You know what I mean? I need you to crowdfund it. January 20th, bigmancomics.com. You're going to love it. It's really fun. It's got a lot of heart, a ton of action, beautiful illustrations, and it's funny too because I'm funny. So you're going to want that. We got t-shirts. We got it all. Anything you got for the audience, Mr. Jericho?
Keep your eyes peeled for more content. I'm going to crank out a bunch of videos coming up here. So much crazy shit's going on. You know, all the things that are, you know, at the forefront, the real big stories, but there's a lot of things going on, like, you know, other stories that we might not be focusing on, other things. So yeah, all that brand new merch. So, you know, check it out, search the name, and enjoy. All
right, guys, hit the like, subscribe, share this out, guys. I need everyone who sees this and hears me say the next sentence to do what I say. Share this with your friends, Facebook, wherever you share stuff. Go to an ICE protest and tell people to subscribe to this. Go somewhere where there's a lot of people. Lord knows they need to hear what I have to say. And Jared,
hell yeah.
So
hell yeah.
All right. We love you. We thank you. And we will see you on Tuesday when I launch my book, The Unstoppable Tyrus. 128 pages of action. Adios, amigos.